Good morning, Slop Nation, and welcome to Slop Chop. This is a 1-year-old podcast hosted by myself, Harvey Mulvihill. It is about the happenings of the internet, and it is your one-stop shop for slop. You heard me right, gosh dang it. This is the 1-year anniversary of this podcast, episode 52. 52 weeks in a row, baby. 52 weeks. It's our birthday. We did it. It's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. It's been a wild year. It's been a blast to do this thing. I'm really grateful for everyone that has tuned in over the past 365 days. It's been cool to have a project. It's been cool to... This is going to be the most masturbatory episode I've ever done. Most of them are masturbatory, but this one's going to be fully just gooning into a mirror. So reflection. If this is the first episode you've ever heard, sorry. No, but I'm stoked for it, man. You know, I knew going into this thing that it was going to take discipline. I'm essentially a Navy SEAL. The way that I have just continued doing this, I think what they do is actually less difficult than doing this, talking into a microphone once a week. So, you know, shouts out to me. No, but for real, shouts out to you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening, for tuning in. We hit a year, man. A freaking year. It's crazy. But look at these. If you're watching the video, you can see these hastily put together decorations on the set. And I thought it'd be fun to take a walk down memory lane. So there is some slop for this week, but for the first, little while, for the first bit, we're going to be doing the memory walk. Going through the last 51 episodes briefly, and just looking at the evolution of the pod over a year. Because, I like to think that we've made some progress. I like to think that I'm better at this than I was a year ago. We're actually going to do a painful exercise and self-mutilation, flagellation, and watch a little bit of the first episode I ever did to see if I've gotten better at this, or to see if I'm exactly the same, which is also possible, right? It's also possible there's been no growth that's happened. It is all just a perceived growth by me, when in actuality, nothing has changed. So that's, it's possible. We're gonna find out today. Other just general thoughts, man. I'm stoked to have an outlet, stoked to have a thing that I do on a weekly basis, and it's a discipline. It's not always easy. Sometimes I don't want to do it, but then you still do it though, because the episode has to come out. So yeah, man. Look, just generally very happy to be here. Stoked to have a platform. Stoked for it, man. Let's take a look here at our YouTube thumbnails. I think that's interesting. So I've kind of in recent weeks moved away from the picture of random guy you've never seen on the thumbnail, and just started putting images of the thing that I'm talking about, because I think it's more clickable. It is absolutely a tactic for bait. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I'm not above clickbait. As a matter of fact, I am desperately in need of clicks, so I will be continuing to do that. I think, like, for example, this inflammatory Ethan Klein thumbnail is very clickable. And less clickable is me with my friend Stuart on either side of Connor Murphy, right? Or this disfigured Jim Carrey face is very clickable. Or the Timothy Chalamet thing. I actually changed the Timothy thumbnail from my friend and I on either side of Timothy to just his face with the word robbed. And yeah, I think it's better. So yeah, we're working. It's also funny because the more low effort the thumbnail, it seems like the easier it is to click. Like if I have to take a screenshot from the episode and put my own freaking dumbass face in there, it doesn't do as well typically, which is interesting. But that's just the kind of flow of these thumbnails. Big fan of the impact font. I'm still using that puppy in Photoshop all the time. That might change over the next calendar year. Who knows? For a while, I was doing. I was trying to do a guest every week or every other week, which didn't last super long. But Brady, my friend Brady, as Jack Nicholson, was my first guest 8 months ago. And then Landon was guest 2. Then Nick. Then Michael. Then Corey. Then all my friends at the ranch. That was like a massive group of 6 people on the pod. Then Mystery Man. Wickham for the birthday episode because we share a birthday. Might make that an annual tradition. Harrison. Nick number 2, the first returning guest to the pod. Sean, brother Sean. And then Josh. Chris Collins of There Are Too Many Movies. And Stewart, and then other Sean for the Oscars. So I don't know how many guests that was, what I just named, but yeah, man. Definitely less than whatever half of 52 is. I didn't start doing guests until I was like, until whatever episode that was. I enjoy the guests. I kind of struggle with the idea of having guests because that is literally the only way a podcast can grow is by having people on and then they tell their people to watch them on the pod, right? And then you have a whole new group of ears. So that's the idea. I talked yesterday about I'm a big podcast consumer personally, and the difference between pods that don't have guests on and the ones that do. For me, as an introverted freaking loser, it is way easier for me to not have a guest on and just come in here and talk alone. But that's not how growth happens. It's also not how like personal growth happens, right? I don't get better. It doesn't get easier to talk to people on a microphone by not talking to people on a microphone, you know? So guests will continue to be a fixture. It's never going to be every week. I want like the core of the thing to be me by solo. So like at least every other week you're going to get a solo episode. Thoughts for the future for year 2, continue the consistency. Obviously, I think I'm going to just try to keep the streak of weekly episodes for as long as humanly possible without breaking it. There are updates for me recently. I literally yesterday, my jaw surgery got approved by insurance. We were fighting that battle for actual months. And my fucking surgeon yesterday called me and was like, dude, they just came through. It was the insurance lady. And she was like, dude, they just came through, man. So I'm stoked on that. I will have it mostly covered. I think it's still, an obscene amount of money. It is. It's not. I know that it's an obscene amount of money out of pocket still, but all the hospitalization and euthanasia, the euthanasia where they kill you and then bring you back to life clear after the surgery, all that stuff is covered. Which means if I bleed out on the operating table, I won't have to pay $200,000 to save my life, which is great. It's great news. But it's problematic for the podcast because I'm not going to be able to speak for at least 2 weeks. So we will figure out what we're going to do during that time frame. I don't know the answer, man. I don't know the answer, but that'll be next month. So stay tuned for that. I will have to be getting creative with it. So we'll see how it goes. Looking forward to figuring out navigating that period of my life, man. But it's still fun, dude. It's still just the most fun to talk about Slop. I fucking love Slop. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. You can get philosophical and extrapolatory about the ramifications of this addiction, if you call it an addiction, which it definitely is. But it's also fun, man. It's talking points. It's water cooler talk. It's also like it fills your brain, makes you not have to think about the things. Makes you just content with other people's things. You know, I'm so interested in what's happening in the way of the world, the way of the world. So, dude, I'm still a big fan. I still love it, dude, and I'm happy it's part of my life. God bless Slop. You know, it's now time for some flagellation. Let's watch this first episode. I have a feeling this is going to be painful, but we'll see how it goes. Here we go. I remember that first logo, dude. Slap that together in Canva in 4 seconds, and you better believe the current logo slapped together in Canva in 8 seconds. I like the rainbow though. All right. Oh boy.
Makes me sad also too.
Oh boy. Here we go. Here. Oh man. Right off the bat, check out the set changes with brief set changes. I'm definitely fatter. We had the 2 hats hanging on the wall earlier. Got rid of those. Moved around the 3 records. All this stuff got moved around a little bit. Ari Shafir Jew has been a prominent staple of the set since day one. The bootleg VHSs still there. Pretty much all the stuff it's pretty similar, man. Hasn't been a crazy amount of change. The order of the books and stuff has shifted a bit, but it's pretty fucking similar. Oh god, there hasn't been much growth at all. Oh no, you can't say that. I don't know that to be true. We're about to find out. Let's find out.
Good morning, Slop Nation, and welcome to Slop Chop. My name is Harvey. This is a new podcast about the goings-on of the internet, things that I'm interested in. Essentially, I think it's going to be a news show in the broadest sense of the word. I know a lot about a lot of useless garbage, and I think that it would be a crime not to share what I know with all of you lovely people.
Okay, so couple things. This is indeed painful. I still am struggling with the fucking mic situation. It's the same mic that I've had since I started, but my issue, I think it's better. Tell me it sounds better now than it used to, please tell me that. The inhales where you're hi, I'm Harvey. It's like an ASMR thing. You can hear every fucking inhale. It drives me goddamn crazy. And I didn't know how to fix it for the longest time, and then people were just like, it's mic placement, and then also quite a bit of post-processing, actual audio editing. So I've started to do both of those things where the mic is now further from my mouth and pointing the other direction. And also, I'm not like just eating the fucking mic, you know? And also, I'm doing some shit on the back end. Also, I look... In another news, I look fucking... I'm fat as shit. What's crazy is when you're fat, as I have always been literally my entire life, you don't really think about it because it's just your day-to-day. I mean, you think about it. That's not true. What it is you think about it constantly. You hate yourself. You hate that you're fat. And then... But you don't know what you really look like until you lose the weight. And you look back and you go, Jesus. Because it's just your normal... It'd be like a tall guy shrinking. I'm not sure what the analogy is.
So that's what the show is going to be. It's called Slop Chop. I bathe every morning, every afternoon, and every evening in a bucket of internet slop. I love it. It fuels me. It makes me sad also too, of course, but I'm not willing to address that in my life just yet. You know, it is a horrific.
I've been talking about this shit since episode 1, dude. I got no new talking points. Fuck me. This is actually more painful than I thought, but for the wrong reasons. I didn't think that we were just gonna have like it's a goddamn replay of literally every episode of this pod.
Addiction that will eventually, or already has caused problems, but will eventually become unmanageable. But for now, baby, we're rocking and rolling. I wanted to give a quick shout out to everyone that supported the old podcast with Zach and I. I really appreciate you guys. Specific shouts out to Nick, Robbie, Mark, and Tyler.
All those people are dead.
I really appreciate you guys. You were the lifeblood of folks at home, and I'm sure Zach will guest on this one as well. I would really appreciate your support throughout this new venture. What do you guys think about the set? Is it too busy? Do we like it? These are all my interests that you see. Everything in this shot. This is who I am.
That remains true. I'm kind of battling back and forth on the too busy thing. I still feel that way, where I like putting shit that I like in frame, but then is it distracting? Is it no good? I mean, clearly the balloons and the streamers and stuff are distracting, but the birthday hat, though, that's definitely going to remain a staple every week. I do like very much that it's scraping the balloon in the back. Very good. Very, very, very good. Happy birthday to Slop. Happy birthday to Slop. Happy birthday, dear Slop Chop. Happy birthday to you. The podcast background is a thing, and most, I would say 75%, it's more like 90%. The vast majority of all professional, good-looking podcasts have very plain sets, very plain backgrounds, maybe like one photo in the back, couch. I think it's just because it's distracting, and you're taking away from the words being said. And I'm trying to find more examples of the other way. Being Ian with Jordan is like the only thing that I can think of off the top of my head, with a super busy set that has like all of Ian's interests just strewn about. I think that's fun. Are You Garbage? Kind of. There's all kinds of shit in the background there. But if you guys have any other examples of professional podcasts that have a super busy set, so that I can point at them and go, no, look, other people are doing it. It's not just my dumbass. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. In other news, this is the same space I've been recording in all year. The space will likely change in the next calendar year. We're sticking with it for now, but we will. Yeah, I'm cooking on a new situation. Let's continue.
Maybe it's too much. We'll see. You know what? It's episode 1. I was told by a good friend to make this exist first and make it good later.
Goddamn right.
So that is what I aim to do. I hope to make this exist and then just week after week improve on the formula, get tighter with the slopics, as I think I'm going to call them, and figure out the flow and the pace and all that. So bear with me. It's probably going to be bad for quite some time. It's probably going to be pretty bad for quite some time. I'm also not sure if I'm going to be editing this quite as much as I normally would. So I might just leave both of those takes in there. Jesus. Yeah, no one really tells you until you start doing it that talking into the void on a microphone isn't the easiest thing in the world. I love Tim Dillon. He's one of my favorites.
Oof.
And
I also love Tim Dillon, from a year ago, but let's not compare ourselves to one of the greatest podcasters. No, I'm not comparing myself, but anyway, yeah. Basically, dude, this isn't quite as cringe as I anticipated. I think maybe you just need more time to pass for the pain to happen. But this guy's spitting facts, man. He's doing it. He's making it exist first and it good later, which is how you have to create. Because, yeah, you wait for perfection and it's never going to happen, dude. It's never going to fucking happen, bruh. You got to make it exist and then you can make it good. I'm still working on making it good. It's going to be another 4 to 5 years before this is actually of substance, of quality. But I'm talking about slop, so I'm not too concerned about it, you know? If I was talking about geopolitics, might be problematic to have this set and be wearing this hat. But talking about slop, so we're fine. I think we're fine, you know? What else can I tell you? Other thoughts for, yeah, so well, I touched on it briefly, but I guess I'll dive into it a bit. The thoughts for the next iteration of the set. I want to do a professional, I keep using the word professional. I sound like fucking what's his name? Neil Breen. Neil Breen, who's married to the idea of having professional, legitimate film sets. They are real, 100% by the book, union actor-led productions. That's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm the Neil Breen of podcasters. But yeah, what I want to do is I want to get a new place and convert a room to a podcast studio and have it legit 3-camera setup, microphone stands, couch probably, maybe a love seat for me, couch for guest. And yeah, it's expensive. So I need to buy 2 more microphones. No, I think the microphones might be fine. 2 more cameras for sure. 3 more cameras because I'm fucking getting rid of the goddamn Sony A7S II. This clunker that I've been shooting with my entire career, I shot with it all through my videography days. Yeah, it's literally every single thing that I've shot with this camera. So I don't have much experience with anything else. As a matter of fact, I have no experience with anything else. But I'm sure I could figure it out. Or I could just stay Sony, but actually get something that doesn't shut off every goddamn 30 minutes. Which has been a big headache. And is frankly embarrassing when you have guests over for the pod. Frankly, it's embarrassing to have to pause the conversation to press stop and then start on the camera again. It seems amateurish, and I don't like it. So I will be getting rid of that, man. So, but yeah, 2 more tripods, 2 more cameras. I want a legit studio monitor instead of this tiny clunker that's been on top of the camera since day one. I want a big ass one. So we'll see, but it's going to be expensive. It's going to be like $10K, I think, to make this deal the way that I want it. And when you start a new hobby, or when I start a new hobby, my impulse is to buy a bunch of the cool, sexy equipment right away, because really the accessorizing is what you're in it for. You want all the cool gadgets. You don't really care about the thing itself. So I intentionally didn't do that with the pod. I bought run-of-the-mill mic, decent. It's a good mic. Bought a good mic, but run-of-the-mill everything else. And I already had the camera. So I was like, let's just start it with what I have. The overhead for the podcast was like nothing and remains almost nothing. So now that I'm a year in, I think I'm comfortable spending some money on the thing. I'm making money. I have a job. What the fuck else am I spending money on? Nothing, dude. Nothing. So that's the plan. That is the plan, is to get like a legit freaking space, and also something that I love the idea of not having to change the camera shots every time, because when you do a solo episode, you got to frame it up for right here, what we're looking at right now, and then when you do a guest, you got to move it, broaden it. I might as well be a fucking indentured servant. I cannot abide by this level of work that I'm doing. Podcasting is the hardest job on earth by far. You wonder if like coal miners think to themselves, well, at least I'm not podcasting. This is tough, but at least I'm not sitting in front of a microphone and a camera. That's another thing you got to do. You got to sync the camera audio with the microphone audio in editing. I mean, that takes 10, 15 seconds. Brutal. So my heart goes out to the other YouTubers and podcasters that are making a killing, doing this. Whew. I also stopped with the earrings. That's another thing I quit doing. I don't know why. My ears are still pierced. I do the thing of every 3 to 6 months I will put an earring through both of the piercings just to make sure that the hole doesn't close. So that in the future, if I do want to wear the earrings, I have the option. But I don't wear them very often. Hardly at all. Hardly at all. I love the fishing hat. I like the Teddy Fresh hat. Teddy Fresh hat and fishing hat are actually both still on the set. There's not behind me anymore. The Teddy Fresh hat lives next to the TV, and the fishing hat is hidden over here. You can't actually see it, but it lives right there. So that's fun. Yeah. All right. Any other closing thoughts before we jump on?
Big inspiration for this show, and I hope
That's 100%
to be
true.
Tim Dillon, but much less funny and even more gay. So, with that said, today's slopics. The Switch 2 has been announced.
The format, by the way, has not shifted an inch. It hasn't shifted an inch. It's the exact same thing. It's too funny. Maybe, okay, it's possible. A couple things are possible. It's possible that I'm still finding my voice. And at episode 200, that's when I'll figure out like the best actual format for this thing. Or maybe I nailed it literally on episode 1. I just had this burning, passionate idea for a podcast, and it like spilled out of me. It was just required no effort at all. It was like it had to exist, It was one of those things. Like Michelangelo. Maybe that's it. And maybe I nailed it literally on episode 1. And since then I'm not even changing, I'm not improving on the formula because the formula is perfect. The formula is perfect. The podcast is perfect. The set is perfect. Everything is ideal. Nothing needs to be changed. The fact that I have, you guys don't know this. This is embarrassing also. Fuck. Dang it. I have to come clean to you fucks. I have 3 different ways that I record audio. And depending on the circumstances, that's the thing that I use. So if I have guests on, I record into a Zoom recorder because my normal recording system doesn't have 2 inputs. The one that I'm recording to in right now is Audacity. Yep. Audacity, like the children program, the one that children use. That's what I use. It works, dude. Fuck off. But the reason I don't use it all the time is because my audio interface doesn't connect to inputs, right? Unfortunately. But then third, if I'm doing a screen recording of any kind for some reason, like right now, I record into OBS because that has that capability. So then you might ask, well, just why not just use OBS all the time if you're recording by yourself? Well, because Audacity is easier. It's easier to understand, and you just press record and it starts recording. And OBS, I guess, kind of does that too. But anyway, I suck. I'm gonna kill myself. This is bullshit. This is absolutely nothing. This is not interesting to anyone. I think we should move on. Mostly, though, I just wanted to say, God love the Slop Nation. Thank you guys so much for listening over the past calendar year. I'm looking forward to the growth of the pod over the next 52 episodes. I'm looking forward to continuing the discipline of creating the thing on a weekly basis and not missing uploads. Looking forward to the slop that we're going to get into, man. My goals for the next year, the thing that has been lacking the most is clips, and I have to figure out a better workflow for the clips so they don't take as long, and I don't hate making them as much. So that's going to be my goal for next year, is figuring out a way to make the clips consistently, because that's having guests on a pod is nice enough, but that's how every single creator of any kind gets found out now. It gets found nowadays is on the talk, man. TikTok, Instagram, shit. And like thinking, dude, I'm such a hypocrite, because I would love everyone and their mother to just run over to the YouTube and watch full episodes of the podcast, but there's people that I follow on TikTok that I legitimately like that I don't listen to their pod, you know? Actually making the commitment to go and listen to a podcast is big. Big. But pressing follow on TikTok is less big. It's doable, right? So, anyway, those are my thoughts, man. Thanks again for bearing with me. Looking forward to the future. Let's move on to some slop. All right, dude. New Kanye album. New freaking Kanye album. Bully. I have a coworker whose thing is, I call them first date questions, where he comes up and he just like, he asks just, hey, what's bothering you? Or like, he gives me like big, broad, what's your favorite food? That type of thing. If you only had 3 movies on a desert island, what would they be? But he asks those consistently. He's a sweetheart, and I'm a big fan. But he asks those questions a lot. And a recent one was, which celebrity makes you angry? And I was like, Kanye West. Kanye West, by far, is the biggest celebrity that makes me unhappy. I'm in a abusive relationship with this man, where for the longest, for literal years, I would have called him my favorite artist of all time. I still might call him that. I can't think of a contender, honestly, other than Kanye. But the problem with that is that I don't like any of his new music. I don't care for any of it. I think Pablo was the last good album he made. Trying to think of, it'd be nice to get a list of Kanye albums so I can confirm that statement for you. Okay, I must amend my statement. He did the string of whatever it was, 4 albums in a year. That was after Pablo. So 2018 is the last good album he made. That was almost a fucking decade ago, like 8 years ago. I love Life of Pablo. I love Yay. And I, of course, love Kids See Ghosts. And there's one good song on Jesus is King. Jesus is King is when he did his gospel era. He went through a gospel phase. There's some good stuff on that album. I would never call it good. Would never go as far as to call it good. So since then has been the Donda era, is what I'll call it. Donda into Vultures. And now Bully. And all those projects. Donda 1, Donda 2, Vultures 1, Vultures 2, Bully. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 projects. And Jesus is King. You can call them six projects in a row. I don't fuck with. I don't like them. I don't care for the music at all. And my favorite of the new bunch is Donda 1, but like it's tough. It's really they're just not very good. They're just not very exciting. They're kind of boilerplate. They're very samey. And I feel the same way about Bully. I really don't fuck with it. It's not for me. I'm also been on record as saying I find it disturbing when hip hop doesn't have bangers. when it's all like slow melodic sing-songy, like R&B adjacent stuff. Kanye's going straight back to his soul roots here. This sounds very like, I don't know, early graduation or like some of graduation, with the soul stuff. Jesus Walks adjacent. Jesus Walks is an incredible song. I would not say that anything on this album is of anywhere close to that quality. It is not that good. And what's weird, man, is I'm seeing a lot of cope online. I'm seeing a lot of people parading around this as being good, being solid, or being a step up from the Donda era, which maybe it is. You could call it perhaps a step in the right direction. It's the most charitable way of putting it. I don't think there's, by the way, it's been so long now. It's been so long now that I don't see him returning to any sort of interesting sound again. I think he's cooked. I think it's over. But here's the big stinger. The big takeaway from this album release cycle is usually when Kanye is gearing up for an album release, when he's doing the promotional rollout for a new album, he does some crazy shit. That's time after time after time. He gets into the news with some controversy and everyone's talking about Kanye. That has not happened this time. Unless I'm missing something, which I'm not, I don't think. I'm pretty tapped into the Kanye verse. It seems like all the crazy antics, all the Hitlery stuff, he's chilled out with. He did the apology, the full page New York Times apology, New York Post, whatever bullshit it was. Apology to the Jews. And then since then, it's been quiet, which is very unlike him. Did he get back on his medicine? Did he get back on the meds? Oh yeah, he put that in that apology thing. He was like, I've never been off of medication. I'm always on medication. People say that I'm off my meds are wrong. I'm like, okay, but then there's something, you're taking the wrong shit then because there's something going on. It seems like you do fly off the goddamn handle frequently. You freak out. You say wild, crazy, out of pocket shit. You burn bridges. And you make it so you're very difficult to defend or work with, right? And then every 9 to 12 months, you come to your senses and say sorry. But usually, right now is the vibe of it is like coming down off of the insanity. We're like entering the valley. But typically, because we just got an album, this would be like peak insane, saying crazy shit. He's flipped it on its head. So maybe that's growth. It probably is growth, right? I think everyone, by the way, had their own line to draw with Kanye or to like stop fucking with the guy. I guess many of us still fuck with him in a way. I certainly will still listen to every new Kanye album that drops. At least try it. I will at least dip my toe. I don't know if I even finished Bully. Definitely didn't finish Donda 2. Definitely didn't finish Vultures 2. But I'll try it. I'll give it a glance. Because he's fucking he's Kanye, bro. He's just one of those dudes, one of those guys. But dude, maybe there's hope. Maybe there's hope for him. He's releasing boring gospel music again. He isn't in the news for ultra racism. He actually took off the pointy hat. Took off the pointy white hat. And he's making boring shit. Maybe there's a direct correlation there. Maybe the more racist Kanye is, the better at music he is. Probably not. Because all the crazy racism stuff happened when he started making bad music. I do feel like I've said these exact words into a microphone before. What is the perfect level of psychoactive medication that will get Kanye making good music again? Where he's unhinged as fuck, he's saying crazy shit, but he's not like over the line. You went too far with the crazy shit. Now no one wants to fuck with you anymore. No one wants to be on the guy, the parade, the Nazis guy. No one wants to be on the side of the Nazis. They were not chill. So you went too far. Walk that back. Take the fucking red hat off. I think he dropped the Trump stuff too. He went Trump to Nazi. He was kind of on the bleeding edge of counterculture, huh? That's kind of what a lot of people are doing. Trump to Nazi. Weird there's no antics for this album rollout. Just weird. Unlike him and concerning. Cause for concern. I think we should go check on Kanye. Let's give him a glance, make sure he's okay. Did you guys listen to this album? Tell me in the comments if it's good. If I should give it a second spin. My music friend enjoyed a song or two. I have a music friend whose thing is music. My thing is movies and slop. And I don't listen to a whole lot of music. And then when I've said this before, I'm gonna kill myself. The truth of it, sloppers, is that this should be cause for celebration. We hit a year. I should be over the moon. In actuality, though, I'm pretty fucking tired and low energy. I'm feeling pretty sleepy today, slops. And it's no good. I don't know where the energy is going to come from. I just drank a fucking Monster, bro. I'm trying to pump it into my soul. But I just can't get hyped about Kanye. I can't. I don't have any jizz I don't have any jizz left for this man. I got nothing. I'm bored. I'm fucking bored. Which is the worst thing to be, dude. I don't hate the guy. I don't hate the new music. I just find it boring. Yeah, man. I don't fucking know, bruh. You guys liking it? Are you guys watching it? Listening to it? You guys listening to it? I'm certainly not. Oh yeah, another weird thing. He released like version 1 of the Bully album as a visual album on YouTube. Remember that? That was like a year ago. He released just Bully on his YouTube, and it was like a 40-minute short film with just slow static shots, not static, slow moving shots, slow motion shots of just stuff happening, like people in a boxing ring and little girls dancing and shit, with like version 1 of the album playing. And then that's another weird thing he does. He does his albums. He'll like release the album and then be like, nah, bro, that's version 1, bro. You gotta update that shit, boy. So then he updates the album, like he'll just put in version 2 like it's a video game. He'll patch it. What is that? Just fix it before you. He's doing the AAA game developer method instead of the Nintendo method, right? Nintendo makes sure their shit is shot the ship shape before they ship it to your space. Ship shape before ship space, right? where like your AAA fucking General Ubisoft or Patriarch. What's the other one? Tetriarch. Who are the Call of Duty fuckers? Or CD Project Red. CD Project Red shipped out Cyberpunk a calendar year before that game was ready to ship. They just shipped it out. They said, "Fuck you. Here you go." Which is it's not ideal. But you gotta have it. You gotta have it at the release date for Q3. But, to their credit, they have, in years since, really, really locked in and made the game that they originally envisioned through updates. They fixed it. And now it's amazing, apparently. So maybe Kanye will do that for all these new albums. Maybe he'll continue patching them over and over and over and over and over until Vultures 2 becomes listenable. I'm looking forward to that. It will take probably 5 to 7 patches before we get all the bullshit out of that album. I think version 2, you should probably just cut it in half. Drop out 35 minutes of the album. Make it an EP. I also recommend doing this for many feature films. Many feature films that I watch, I think would benefit with becoming a short film. Chop out 75% of this and just keep the kernel. Oh, Kanye. Oh yeah, we got to talk about the fattest thing, the fattest news story I've heard in some time. The KitKat heist of 2026. If you don't know, in Italy, central Italy, there was a shipment of KitKats that were stolen by pirates. 12 metric tons of KitKat bars, which is I'm looking at it here, more than 400,000 KitKats. 400,000 KitKat bars. Stolen presumably by the fattest man of all time. I love the idea of like an 800-pound pirate who never is not sitting. He sits on his like fucking couch throne and he has all of his minions running around doing things for him. And he hears about the KitKat shipment. He's like, my God. You mean to tell me they're sending those crispy wafers right through central Italy? Men, roll out. But sir, the chocolate, they're going to expire before we can get to all of them. Silence! And like, he's got chocolate all over his hands when he slaps the guy. The guy's like wiping chocolate and blood off of his face. Do not ever speak to me that way again. If you know what's best for you, you'll go get me those KitKat bars. Yes, sir. And bring me another baguette and carton of cigarettes. I forgot he was French. Oh, no, he's Italian. Fuck. You ever get those two confused sometimes? French and Italians? Oh, bring me another fucking carton of cigarettes. But yeah, it's crazy. So that guy is now sitting on a mountain of KitKats. 400,000 of them. Making his way through them. KitKat sounds pretty good right now. I might go get one after this. Is KitKat the best candy? The best candy bar? Chocolate candy bar? Is there a real contender? KitKats are pretty great. I'm not seeking them out. To be honest, I'm not buying chocolate bars like that. But if given the opportunity, I'm going M&Ms every time. Like if we're at a gas station, I'm going either regular or peanut or pretzel M&Ms, depending on the mood, depending on the time of the month. But this guy's only eating Kit Kats. He only fucks with. That's not true. He's fucking with anything. He just saw an opportunity to for the heist of the century. That 800-pound guy now weighs 1,215 pounds. He's already out of them. It's been 4 days. He's already out. Bring me another pallet. Sir. But this is a national news story. They've really beefed up their security. I don't think we're going to be able to steal another... Or he tries to slap the guy, but he can't because he's in a... Like his body is protruding out past where his arms are, you know? Sir. Speak to me, sir, please. In that case, just go to CVS and get me a couple. CVS? Those fags stopped selling nicotine. You're right. I meant Walgreens. Shouts out to that the cargo truck theft pirate who is sitting on a gold mine now. A gold mine. Yeah, KitKats are probably the best one. So they made the right call. Speaking of Italians, there's a new Mario movie coming out. Did you guys see the trailer for it? It looks fine. It's gonna make $1.4 billion. That's my guess. It'll make $1.5 billion. And it's so weird that they just were they concerned that people weren't going to see this movie? They just like instead of having it be a surprise, they were like, "Oh, yeah, it's also Star Fox is in it. Here you go. He's in it." Like, oh, like the fans, the only ones who would care about this are nerds, and nerds are already going to see it because it's Mario. What have I been watching, Slops? I'm glad you asked. I went to Cosm in Dallas with my family. And if you're unfamiliar, Cosm, it's like a 360-degree or close to 360-degree theater where they project. It's usually like sporting events, so it feels like the entire, like the screen surrounding you, so it feels like you're sitting on the front row of a sporting event. It's very, very, very impressive technology. They were selling. They're doing the Matrix. And tickets were $80 each. $80 to go see The Matrix in this format. And I was fucking astounded, like blown away, completely blown away. Ticket absolutely worth your money and time. It is worth doing. If you're a fan of the movie, go watch it. Go watch it at Cosm. If you live in Dallas or Los Angeles, check it out. Holy shit, it's unbelievable. They meticulously, painstakingly animate like every scene from the film to extend it out into the dome. It's like every time a scene change happens, the surrounding world around you changes. The thing I'm thinking of is like frequently, especially when they're showing Neo the Matrix, it'll switch to like a blank, they call it the void, a blank white area, and the entire room just goes white, and like you're like, oh my god, it's like suddenly bright as day after a second after you being in a movie theater. Or one time, or at the beginning again, Morpheus calls him when he's at his office, and he's like, you gotta get the fuck out of there because the agents are coming. And then he steps out onto the side of the building and looks down and like sees how far he is up. And then in the theater, he fucking steps out. You step out with him basically, and you look down with him, and your stomach lurches. It's so impressive. And then, during the Matrix coding scenes, all the green code all around. It's fucking unreal. So cool. Would happily do it again. They're doing Willy Wonka right now at the same time. I'm going to go see Willy Wonka there. There was an undisclosed member of our party who took some acid, psychedelics. And he said it was fucking unbelievable. It's like the coolest environment for a psychedelic situation if that's your jam. Not my jam, but 'twas his jam. He really enjoyed it. Even if you're sober, dude, it's pretty fucking cool. Really, 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 really incredible. They had the other thing is that, they had the credits of the movie itself playing, and then on either side of the dome they had the credits for the production, like how it took hundreds of people to make this thing come together, and animators, producers. They said, like, thank you to our friends at Warner Brothers for, like, we couldn't have done this without you. So they needed tons of access to the back end. It's really cool, dude. So they're showing it right now, and you should go. Being for real, you should check it out. It's the shit. Cosm, COSM, Dallas. Tickets are pricey, but they are worth it. It's fucking wild. Extremely sick. So shout out to that. That's what I've been watching. And by the way, The Matrix, I just rewatched it, and 2 months ago, came to you all and said, hey, that was great, but it's not one of my, top ever. This bumped it back up to a 5-star masterpiece for me. And I don't know if this was, if it was thanks to the format exclusively, but that movie hit so hard. It's back up to 5. So it was a 5, it went down to a 4, and now it's back up to 5, man. Shouts out to the original Matrix. It's unbelievable. So much heart in that movie. I'd forgotten about all the heart. So good. That's what I've been watching, Slops. And mostly just wanted to say thank you guys very, very much for a year of podcasting. I really appreciate it, truly. It means the world to me. And I'm looking forward to the next one. Here's to year number 2. Looking forward to all the changes that will inevitably happen. But thank you guys for coming along for the ride. This will eventually be a podcast that people listen to. I know it. I know it. And you guys are on the ground floor. So thank you so much for following. I appreciate it, for real. Thank you guys. See you in 7 days' time. Goodbye.